This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Vilgus.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. First this evening, this week marks the 7th anniversary of what would become the largest offshore oil spill in U.S. history.
Although the Suncoast wasn't directly affected, the disaster kept a countless number of visitors away from Florida. And BP was forced to pay billions of dollars in settlements. ABC7's Dwayne Lindo is joining us now live with an update on who is still affected by the spill here on the Suncoast. Dwayne.
Well, Haley, thousands of class action lawsuits have been filed since the accident. Fast forward 7 years later, and there are still a few claims that have not been settled.
Marina Jack Restaurant is approaching its 50-year anniversary, and it's going strong. But in the spring of 2010, it was a challenging time.
People watch the news from up north and were hesitant to come down to Florida because they just assume oil is everywhere.
Vice President of Marina Operations, Sam Chavers, says the disaster slowed sales slightly on the restaurant side, but heavily on their operations side.
People were hesitant to take a boat out, rent a boat, join a boat club, buy a boat because of the oil in the water.
It caused tens of thousands of people to cancel plans and to not come here.
Local attorney Bill Robertson says his firm went on to file 115 claims, with 2 still pending, helping them recover more than $30 million, pointing out that the accident caused businesses on the Suncoast to lose revenue in the months following the spill.
And for 2007, 2008, 2009, it's going up or pretty static. And then 2010, you see a drop in your revenues for this 7 months. And then we compare it to 2011, and it's back up again. To me, that's a logical equation to establish causation.
Robertson also representing 2 municipalities, including the city of Sarasota, accepting a $3.2 million claim in July of 2015.
We chose to set our funds aside for specifically environmental type projects within the city of Sarasota.
For Chavers, this is a period of time that he hopes is never repeated again.
It was the most challenging thing we had seen that we could not control, an outside influence. It was detrimental to the environment and to the water resource out in the Gulf, but more harm by the economy and the perception that oil was all the way from the Panhandle to the Keys.
Now, scientists say they are still witnessing environmental impacts in Gulf waters 7 years later. Scott, Haley, back to you.
All right, Dwayne, thank you. Lawmakers in Tallahassee are looking at making permanent changes to how the public is notified about pollution spills. The Florida Senate passing a bill that would require the State Department of Environmental Protection to promptly notify the public after a pollution spill. This bill was filed following a massive sinkhole at Mosaic's Polk County plant that sent millions of gallons of contaminated water into Florida's main aquifer. Under this bill, those responsible for a spill would have to notify the DEP within 24 hours of it being discovered. The DEP would then issue a public emergency notice. If operators do not comply, they could be penalized $10,000 for each day the spill or pollution goes unreported.
Suncoast climate change is in the spotlight once again. Researchers and community members are gathering tonight to talk about the signs that climate change is happening here. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from the University of South Florida Sarasota Manatee campus, where this symposium is taking place. Jess.
Good evening, Haley. Florida's climate is changing, according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. The temperatures are getting warmer and the sea levels are rising about 1 inch per decade. Tonight, one professor is shedding some light on what's happening specifically here on the Suncoast. Dr. Harold Wanless, a professor for the University of Miami, is hosting the Suncoast Climate Change Symposium. He's looking at the status of the Suncoast, from shrinking coastlines and rising temperatures to what they'll look like in the future. Students from the University of South Florida will also show videos explaining what climate change means to their generation going forward. Sarasota city officials say they've seen the effects of climate change here on the Suncoast in places like Longboat Key. And to a tropical storm, we're vulnerable on places like Lido Beach. City Manager Tom Barwin says it's important to share scientists' information on climate change so together as a community we can reduce the effects.
We're just trying to come to grips with what is really happening and to try to minimize it, yet at the same time adapt to what our world will be seeing in the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, because the community will be here.
The symposium is going on right now. It lasts until about 7:30 tomorrow night on ABC News at 7. I'll be taking an in-depth look at what researchers are saying about climate change here on the Suncoast and what our local governments are doing to combat it. In Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Jess, thank you so much. A public meeting is underway right now on new rest areas coming to Southwest Florida. The Florida Department of Transportation hosting a public meeting to discuss the construction of these new rest areas along I-75 in Charlotte County. Those who attend can ask questions about the rest areas or any other future FDOT projects. Meetings being held at the Charlotte Harbor Event and Conference Center in Punta Gorda.
Once again, Sarasota is getting national attention for its beautiful beaches, dining options, and shopping. Vogue magazine published an editorial last week on why Sarasota is one of the Sunshine State's best-kept secrets. The article highlights the top-rated beaches along with mid-century architecture, cultural attractions, and a thriving food scene. The author suggests visiting Starfish Company, Owens Fish Camp, Shore, the Ritz-Carlton, and Indigenous. The article also states that Sarasota is the 10th fastest growing city in the entire country. I don't think it's best kept anymore.
I don't think it's a
I think
secret
it's
at all.
the worst kept secret. Right. It's not. Everyone knows about it. You know, everyone is coming to visit here because of all those accolades we've gotten.
Based on the traffic we saw and the packed beaches and restaurants and everything else, I think everyone knows about the Suncoast. Yeah.
I think so too.
And of course the weather brings them here too, and here's Bob with more on what's happening today.
Yeah, I was thinking about the USA Today article, what, several years ago, said the same thing. So yeah, it's been out for quite some time now, and you can tell that by the roads and the traffic around the season. You can see some showers around, finally some rainfall happening, well, a little bit, not a lot, but we can take it. We can see some moderate to heavier showers now near South Sarasota County, just to the west of Northport, Port Charlotte, a few showers there. And these are associated with a little trough of low pressure that is moving to the west right now, kind of popped up right there near US 41, Tarpon Point, Warm Mineral Springs, getting some rainfall on US 41 near State College of Florida campus there, heading off toward Venice, and 1 or 2 lone showers into Manatee County as well. We'll keep a 30% chance for a few evening showers in the mix. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies are expected, clearing for tomorrow. Details and all that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. It's now down to the wire. The deadline to file your income taxes is tonight at midnight. The typical April 15th deadline was pushed back this year because of the Good Friday and Emancipation Day holidays. If you have not yet filed your taxes or filed for an extension, you could receive a late filing penalty or a late payment penalty. Even if you're worried you won't have enough money to pay what you owe, tax experts say you need to do something.
File the paperwork, even if you can't pay what's on your balance due. And the good news is 7 out of 10 people get a refund. So a lot of our clients come in and say, oh, I'm going to owe this year. Happen to find out they're getting a refund.
Many tax offices and post offices are staying open late tonight for last-minute filings.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. And Richard, triple-digit gains yesterday and now a triple-digit decline today on Wall Street.
Well, Haley, welcome to my world. I've been doing this now for only about 42 years, and I guess I'm not surprised by anything anymore. But we talked yesterday about the fact that this week we would see lots of earnings reports, and indeed we saw lots of earnings reports, some of them not so good. And when that happens, Wall Street declines. 2 components of the Dow Jones Industrial Average are down more than 4% and down more than 3% respectively. You see those kinds of things and you have a triple-digit decline. It's a very simple formula. Let's take a look at the numbers, and they could have been worse. We were down by 180 points midday, but there you see down 114 points, just over 0.5%. The Dow closing at 20,523.28. That on volume of 689 million shares. The NASDAQ, by comparison, hardly moved at all. It was down by just 0.1%, just over 7 points at 5,849.47. That on volume of 1,404 million shares. And the S&P down also, but again, not nearly like the Dow, down 0.3%, 7 points at 2,342.19. So who's the culprit? Why are things so bad today? Well, how about Goldman Sachs, often thought to be the absolute star of stars on Wall Street, was not the star today. Both their revenues, top and bottom line, came in below Wall Street consensus. The stock was down almost 5% and accounted for 70 Dow points all by itself. So if you take Goldman out of the Dow, really you don't have much of a day at all. But unfortunately, we're not allowed to do that. Goldman, in fact, had been meeting or exceeding their earnings estimates 90% of the time since they became a public company. Unfortunately, that was not the case today. And when a stock like Goldman falls by almost 5%, the entire market seems to pay for it. That certainly was the case.
And you also have some late news on IBM tonight.
Yeah, not much better. Unfortunately, that came out after the close tonight, so we won't see those results as far as what the market thinks until tomorrow. But unfortunately, IBM, Big Blue as we used to call it, posted a revenue decline for the 20th consecutive quarter. That means they have not shown an improvement in revenues for 5 years. There's a company that needs to turn things around all by themselves.
Wow. All right, Richard, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the end to a nationwide manhunt. Who led state troopers to the man accused of murdering a man and then posting video of it on Facebook?
ABC7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, a whole new view of a rocket launch, what NASA did differently this time around at Cape Canaveral.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Everyone loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The LECOM School of Dental Medicine in Lakewood Ranch is now accepting patients. You will receive your care in comfortable, state-of-the-art treatment rooms. To schedule your appointment, please call the LECOM Dental Group practices, 941-405-1600. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
It's the season of savings right now during the spring clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Cherokee for just $18,999. And for a limited time, get America's best value, a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
A violent end to a nationwide manhunt.
The man accused of killing an innocent elderly man, then posting the video on Facebook, took his own life today when police tracked him down in Pennsylvania. ABC's Emily Rowell is in Cleveland with the details on these new developments.
Found me somebody like to kill.
Less than 48 hours after the Facebook video and cold-blooded killing that started it all, Steve Stevens is also dead.
There was a short pursuit in which the vehicle was stopped. As the officers approached that vehicle, Steve Stevens took his own life.
State troopers in Erie County, Pennsylvania, getting a citizen tip, then spotting Stevens in a fast food parking lot.
Units, PSP is behind a white Ford Fusion.
on Buffalo Road heading out of Westville into Erie.
Pennsylvania State Police say Stevens was in that white Ford Fusion and used a pistol to shoot himself in the head.
The goal from 2 o'clock Easter day was to make sure that no one else was a victim of violence by Mr. Stevens. We believe that to be the case. That was the #1 goal. Obviously, the other goal was to bring Mr. Stevens in safely, and unfortunately, he chose that not to be the case.
Rambling videos posted on social media reveal a man whose life appeared to be unraveling.
Past year's been really up for me.
And Tuesday afternoon, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg acknowledging the innocent victim and this tragedy as a catalyst for change.
We have a lot of work, and we will keep doing all we can to prevent tragedies like this from happening.
And the family of the victim in this case making it a point to say that they forgive Steve Stevens. Emily Rao, ABC News, Cleveland, Ohio.
Space buffs across the world experiencing a rocket launch in Florida today in a very new way.
3, 2, go for main engine start. 1, 0, and liftoff of the Atlas V rocket.
For the first time, NASA broadcast a 360-degree view of the launch from Cape Canaveral. That means that online viewers could move the camera angle and choose their view as the rocket went up. The launch was broadcast on NASA's YouTube channel. The Atlas V rocket is taking close to 8,000 pounds of supplies to the International Space Station. It should rendezvous with the ISS on Saturday. By the way, the rocket that is, the capsule that's taking those supplies is named the John Glenn.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. Yeah.
Nice tribute.
And there it goes. Nice blue skies when that went up.
Yeah, on the East Coast, a little bit more there. Clear skies there on the East Coast. We had a little bit more cloudiness down here southwest. That's a result of a little trough of low pressure. We'll take it. We're getting some rainfall in some areas, which is beneficial to our problems with our drought and our high fire danger. Not enough to help things out, but as I said, we'll take what we can get. Ventway's a webcam showing the clouds that have been in and out throughout the day today. Some peaks of the sun now and again, and right now it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent sunset. As far as the weather headlines read, well, a few evening showers are still possible, although they're starting to weaken now. A cold front is due to arrive on Sunday, and our chances for rain will increase somewhat. Looks like late this Sunday and into Monday night, and Monday there's a chance for showers as well as a result of a low pressure area which will develop along a front and then track off toward the northeast. We're not going to be the beneficiaries of the heavy rainfall, but there will be places to the north and east of us that will get a little bit more rainfall from the system. You can see the cloudiness right there, a little trough of low pressure, if you will, just out into the Gulf of Mexico, close enough to us to bring the clouds and a few showers. There are a few showers along the East Coast, but not nearly as many as we've seen this week. And then quite a bit of rainfall continues over East Texas. That high pressure ridge, there's still a high pressure located over North Florida, which is kind of holding everything at bay right now. The little trough slipped in from the south, but not doing a whole lot except for bringing some clouds and a few showers that you see right now into Highlands County, also into DeSoto and Hardy counties, as well as into Sarasota County. You see a little bit of rainfall there still occurring. At one point, it was heavier right there along US 41 near State College of Florida campus, and Venice and Inglewood getting some rainfall. Currently, we have mostly cloudy skies. It's 81 degrees right now. The dew point is at 65, and winds are out of the west at 9. The pressure 30.07. It's still pretty high, and it's holding steady for the most part. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer tomorrow. We're anticipating partly cloudy skies to mostly sunny conditions in the morning, a few clouds in the afternoon. High temperatures will reach into the mid-80s for the most part. We'll start to cool down near the coast as a sea breeze develops. So once we get up into the mid-80s at around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it will start to cool down there. Inland areas away from the coast, not as much. And then we'll look for just a slight chance for a shower or two as that trough will be well off to the west of us. Winds will stay basically out of the east tomorrow, as I mentioned, throughout most of the morning and early afternoon. There's a little bit of a turn through the northwest by the 5 o'clock hour, and that's that sea breeze kicking in. Well, there goes the trough, takes the moisture with it, and then a few spotty showers are possible tomorrow, mainly to our south. Rain chance less than 20%. Same goes true for Thursday, with a few inland showers possible, but generally fair skies anticipated for the next couple of days. Not a whole lot in terms of rough weather going on right now across the U.S. The showers over Texas, Louisiana, as well as into Arkansas, and then out west, some rainfall moving into Nevada and California. Well, the 7-day forecast shapes up like this. Temperature is really warming up. Friday and Saturday, 87 degrees on Friday, and Saturday at 87, 30% chance for a few showers come Sunday. And then Sunday night and Monday morning, still some showers possible. As I mentioned, most of the rain will be east of our area. and then temperatures cool down at least a little bit back to near seasonal averages by Monday and Tuesday. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. Now in Suncoast Traffic Watch, we're seeing traffic backed up on I-75 northbound lanes. Look at that. All the red on the map as you head north. This is around Bee Ridge, Fruitville, and north of there. Slow going again tonight. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, children who witness domestic violence may be more likely to have psychopathic traits in adulthood. That's according to a study in the journal Law and Human Behavior. Researchers studied prisoners and found that those who had seen parents or siblings abused at home during their childhood were more likely to score highly on the scale of psychopathic traits. The exact mechanisms behind this potential link are unclear, but it is possible children who observe the manipulative and coercive behaviors of domestic violence may later develop those behaviors as well. Most women have probably heard that menstrual cycles can sync, but apparently that is just an old wives' tale. That's according to a new study by period tracking app Clue, which joined with University of Oxford scientists to determine if there was any truth to women's periods syncing up if they spend a lot of time together or live together. After following 3 consecutive menstrual cycles of 360 pairs of women, the scientists found that the synced up story did not pan out. Of the pairs, 273 pairs actually saw a bigger gap between the start date of their cycles at the study's end compared to the beginning. If you find that it's hard to fit in exercise in the evening, you might want to shift your sweat session to the morning. Yes, it is very hard to wake up early to exercise, but there are some things you can do to make it just a little bit easier. First of all, get to bed earlier. You'll be much more motivated to work out when you've gotten 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And set out everything the night before. Also get a workout buddy. It is really hard to skip when you know someone is at the gym very early waiting for you. And here's one you may not have considered. Eat well the night before. Dietitians say if you have a heavy meal, you are more likely to feel sluggish in the morning. Coming up, a woman and teenager swept away while hiking the Grand Canyon. What the Park Service is doing to try to find the pair. Plus, a manatee rescue in the Keys, a calf injured by a boat propeller, now being brought in for rehabilitation.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
When you want to get away from it all, to a place where you can do everything, or nothing at all, surrounded by natural beauty and all the modern amenities you might desire, then you'll want to be here at the Wanna Be Inn on the beautiful shores of Manasota Key, Florida. To plan your escape, log on to wannabeinn.com.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service, quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it
using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Now to the search for two hikers who were swept away in a creek at Grand Canyon National Park. 14-year-old Jackson Standifer and his step-grandmother, 62-year-old Luann Merrill, were hiking with a group, including Jackson's mother, in a remote area of Arizona on Saturday. The National Park Service says the group was crossing a creek with fast-moving water when the two fell in and were swept away.
This particular kind of incident is extremely rare. That two people would be washed away in a creek crossing is something that is almost unheard of in our local memory of Grand Canyon incidents.
Luann Merrill is married to the CEO of popular hiking boot company Merrill and is said to be an experienced hiker who knows the area well. The National Park Service deployed a helicopter, a drone, and dozens of rescuers are on the ground, all searching for the pair. A California fishing crew reels in a lot more than a big catch on Easter Sunday. The crew found two kayakers drifting miles off the coast of Goleta. The Stardust sport fishing crew threw a life ring over the side of the boat to a man and a woman who were bobbing in the ocean with their hobbled kayak drifting nearby. The couple's kayak had a small hole and it was taking on water, and the fishermen likely saved their lives.
A manatee calf is recovering after being injured by a boat's propeller. Florida Fish and Wildlife teamed up with the Dolphin Research Center last week to rescue the calf in Key Largo. The 7-foot manatee was first spotted last Monday in the shallows. Rescuers say you can see the propeller cuts on its body and tail. Also has deep wounds and swelling, indicating some internal injuries. The calf was taken to Miami Seaquarium for treatment and is expected to recover. A reptile in Arizona is giving the Geico gecko a run for his money. The Avondale Police Department posted these photos on Facebook recently of the chief swearing in the department's pet bearded dragon. The pictures have gone viral. It's all a joke, part of a late April Fool's Day prank. The department first introduced the lizard on April 1st, jokingly touting what was described as the reptile's ability to sniff out drugs more accurately than canines.
That's a good one. I'm sure they got a lot of people with that.
Especially because they waited long to announce that it was an April Fool's joke, so they really pulled it off.
Let it sink in.
Yeah. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, an inside, in-depth look at the Tampa Bay Bucks training camp.
The team will be the focus of an HBO series. We'll have details of that coming up. But first, erosion on Manasota Key. Two counties try to come up with the best way to re-nourish Suncoast beaches.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
So many times we underestimate the human spirit's drive to recover. We often see people surpass what any of us might have expected initially. The Rehabilitation Pavilion at Sarasota Memorial is the top of the line. It allows us to really bring the patient's recovery to the next level.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
wonder.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.